Dude, these decks are so gross. I actually don't know what turn it is. Turn 4? Why would you magnetize, bruh? Bruh. That's a turn 2 in Wild. That's a turn 2. God, this was the worst $10 I've ever spent in my life. Let's do a Heroic Tavern Brawl. I don't think anyone should do this. I think this is a bad idea for 99% of players. I think your rewards are very unlikely to be worth it for you unless you are just incredibly good at the game, which unfortunately most people are not incredibly good at the game. But as a content creator, I can afford to spend $10. You know, I'll get that back on a video. So for me, it's kind of worth it. Now, that said, I played this Mech Paladin in Wild format to Legend last month with a 90% win rate. All right, so with this deck, it's a real simple equation. If you don't have a Mech Warper or Galvanizer or a Radar Detector or a Stonehearth Vindicator, you throw it away to make sure you can refill and discount your maximum. You want to go for big turn 3s, big turn 2s. If you don't have those cards, toss it. So we have the Stonehearth Vindicator, thankfully, so we can coin this on turn 2 and reload a ton with Radar Detector, fill up for an enormous turn 3. In fact, sometimes, let me think here. You can play the I gotta remind myself how this is gonna go. We can play the Frequency Oscillator early to bank that discount. Sometimes you can cheat a Mech Warper even a little bit sooner or play 2 Mech Warpers. That's not gonna happen in this game though, because... But we can actually still tempo this. It's fine to bank this discount. I'm sorry, I'm just reminding myself how all this pans out. It'll stay till turn 3. Okay, this is fine. We're just holding it so that we can cheese more on the post. So turn 3 is basically when we're gonna pop off this game. So it's all good. We go here, we play the Vindicator. We draw off Radar Detector. We hope to hit 4 or 5 cards. We need a Mech Warper or a Galvanizer specifically. We don't hit either of those. Things get a little hairy, but we hit a Galvanizer. We got 4 cards, so we're very happy. Galvanizer goes off next turn. We go boom, 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 and we go crazy. So that's nasty, but oh my god. Okay. All right. Actually should have played. I made a mistake already. I'm sure you might be seeing it. I should have played the Drone Deconstructor after the first Galvanizer. It's not necessarily a mistake because you also want to buff your Security Automaton. So it's kind of debatable. But definitely a consideration. All right, we're going to play this one just to buff again here. Because we want to build a big board for Crusader Aura, basically. And we want to ensure survivability, of course, as well. So Cold Case, that's a big old buff. We have to... Oh, man, they're not even hitting the 1-1. Jeez, okay. All right. We could arguably go for a Bubble Bot here, but I think just smacking now is right. We do need to kill this guy, so we'll use this to prevent any shenanigans, but otherwise we're just going face. Like, we're just turning it on. All right, so monster board. We're a little susceptible to freeze, you know, but whatever. Oh, that's a snipe. Look at that, man. Star power. That can't be good enough, right? No way. Not good enough. Yep. Cool. Man, that was actually like the worst rolls. Maybe like everything's at 1. What terrible rolls. All right, that's the story of the deck right there. Ooh. Oof. Oof. If only we had coin, man. We can keep this though, that's fine. Goldwing's not really the right sort of card for this. We want to go super wide, super fast. That's better. So this is basically Radar Detector on 2, pop off on turn 3. We really need to find probably an Oscillator or, of course, again, Mech Warper and Galvanizer, and we'll be very, very happy. Vindicator's actually a little unnecessary. It doesn't hurt as long as we don't draw the other Radar Detector. You could sometimes arguably tempo an automaton and go for that route, but it's not worth it. We're just going to radar detector 2. In other words, turn 3 is not too late for the pop off, right? Like, I think I remember playing against some people with this deck where they would kind of tempo out 1-drops a little bit and then not have a monster turn 3 swing, which might be right if you're scared that your opponent is also going to have a crazy pop off, or you got to keep up. But most of the time, okay, so only the Mech Warper right now, but we do have an Oscillator, which basically allows us to make something else cost a lot less. So Mech Warper, Oscillator next turn. We have 1 mana remaining. That makes the Security Automaton 0. We play that. We dump both Drone Constructors, a Glowtron, and a Minibot, maybe? Does that sound right? I guess I could play the Oscillator anytime, and it's the same difference, right? Doesn't actually matter. As long as I get my order right. Rush here might be cool. Poisonous again, huh? I don't like stacking things up too much, in particular with the Bubble Bot and the Skyclaw. I don't even think I want to magnetize here. I think we just go max buffs on this and max width. In other words, magnetizing might be overrated. All right, let's just go big. Again, some susceptibility to freeze, but I don't think that's a big risk, especially in an Arcane Worm deck. But, worth acknowledging anyway. So next turn, obviously we have Bubble Bot or Skyclaw to follow up. Skyclaw is a little better, obviously, with more spots, but still good because of the attack buff. Bubble Bot obviously makes us insanely defensible with Taunt and Divine Shield, which is just insane often. I think I've said the word obviously a lot. Sometimes you get words trapped in your brain when you're streaming. I need to say less obviously. Cold Case. All right, very similar curve to last game. This certainly feels like the Bubble Bot, with the 1 space in particular. That's great. We can even trade our Poisonous in to kill this 4/4, and that feels awesome. We unfortunately here don't have the do I want to leave behind the Poisonous or leave behind a Divine Shield Taunted Repair Bot? I think I want to leave behind the Taunted Repair Bot, right? The Poisonous will be exposed anyway, so it's just like easy to ping or trade off. So let's just do this. This is a more annoying health total right now, basically, is the moral of this story. I should actually have done this first, though. Hold up. Nice. I'm a genius. Like actual genius. I sniped it. Let's go. I had a 50-50, or I guess actually a 67%er that I turned into a 50-50, but it kind of makes sense to buff this too for a reload later, so it's not that important. Okay. Yeah, it's going good. Looking good. Just popping off shields here mostly. These death rattles lose so much value with all the divine shields, which is nice. Losing 1 card on board would be pretty good just to get a nice buff here off Skyclaw. Them clearing like 3 small things might even be ideal, because it would buff the automaton by 3 and still give me Skyclaws. So it would be less total damage though. When I pulled this list, I added Skyclaw. I don't think it's like a crazy uncommon thing to see, but I added it to my version of the deck because I was like, oh, this is just too good. 3 bodies, insane board buff. It's just really nice. It's perfect into Crusader Aura on 4 because you go wide. It just really feels like a perfect fit. So if we don't think we have a lethal this turn, which we're really close, we probably will. We should probably consider a reload off Vindicator, but I think we're going to have a lethal, looks like to me. We got, what, 13 already on the 2 guys. 15, 16, 17. Yeah, Skyclaw is going to push +5, so yeah. Even more. I forgot we're buffing him too. It's a lot. Skyclaw pushes +7, I think. Okay. These are not Mech Warper Galvanizer or a way to get a radar detector, so we mulligan them. I'm often a little tempted to keep an Oscillator. I think it's a little worse against Warlock though, because it's Defile Fuel. And we really need to make sure we guarantee we hit our key cards. Against Warlock, I didn't play a ton of Warlocks, but I remember being one of the harder matchups for me. Oh my god. Okay. You just need to respect the file early, I think, is the key thing. Oh, this is discard, though. I definitely didn't play any of these because these weren't really in yet. So here, I actually really do want to find that oscillator. Because right now, I don't have a turn 2 curve, because like Mech Warper into Mech Warper doesn't work. So I need the oscillator to cheat out the second Mech Warper and go to town. That's why I was tempted to keep the oscillator. We hit it anyway. Nice, okay. So this is a pretty good hand. We only hit 3 cards, though, which is a little weak. One of our very few non-mechs at the bottom there. Auras and so on, but that's a good card. All right. Do we go Skyclaw here? I think we use Skyclaw for the follow-up, right? Rush? Rush? Lifesteal, okay. All right. That's a turn 2 in Wild. That's a turn 2. That's what turn 2 looks like in Wild, I guess, yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. Leroy Jing. Oh, good hand. Okay. Yeah, we actually could keep the Deconstructor since we know we have the radar detector and the Mech Warper, but increasing the odds of finding another Mech Warper or an oscillator is probably worth more. There's so many Destructor style plays in the deck that I don't think it's worth it. Like you could, but I think you just want to optimize. Click Locker we can actually play on 1 since we don't have anything to do anyway on 2 other than radar detector. This also just hits the Mech Warper, which we know we're going to play, which is nice. So free to get going, start contesting a little bit faster. Hey, who cares, man? What's up? I am also tired. I drove 17 hours yesterday. Or, well, I mean, I drove about 14 of it on 2 hours of sleep. But I did get some good sleep last night. Our baby is finally sleeping like 7 or 8 hours at a time now, so we're actually getting some decent sleep. She started on the trip, and last night she slept 8 hours, which is awesome. Oh my god. Okay, I hope they have sufficient board clear here. Got an interesting decision here a little bit. Maybe it's not actually that interesting. Just thinking about how big I make this. I actually really think a big tall minion is so valuable against Druid that I'm thinking about making this guy even bigger than normal. Right, like really scaling him up a lot. I guess Naturalize is in Wild format though, which is kind of maybe in this deck too. So maybe that's not as worth it, I'm not sure. Naturalize might complicate this a little bit. Might actually make it better to spread it out. I don't even know. Oh, let's save the Wind Fury because we might be able to really surprise for that. Stack up another big buff and go crazy with Wind Fury. I don't know. I forget Naturalize isn't Wild. I didn't play a lot of anything other than token druids on my climb, but if they have a Naturalize, this might be an overcommitment. They don't have Naturalize, this is gonna farm because we'll give it Wind Fury and it's gonna buff this a bunch, which is just gonna be gross. Is that Naturalize or like aquatic whatever, aquatic form? Oh, nothing. Okay. So I think they're probably just dead. I mean, maybe not literally, but maybe actually literally. Hold up. How much is this? Buffing like crazy too. Oh, they're actually still alive. Dang. Okay. A lot of buffs hitting too, though, thanks to this. We had one more magnetic, they'd be dead. Each player gains 2. Auctioneer. Oh my god, am I dead? Like, can they kill me from here? Is there some crazy combo they can kill me with? Oh my god, am I gonna die? What's happening? Oh my god, am I gonna die, guys? They're not going face with that. Can they clear? Am I gonna get like Tony'd or something? What happens with the Tony? Can I still just kill them on board maybe? I don't know what the end game of the Tony is. What happens? I don't know what happens. Do I get fatigue deathed? I don't know what happens at the end. He'll fatigue me? How does he make me draw enough cards once I've gotten fatigued? Like we've seen, oh, maybe like cold lights and naturalizes and stuff. Oh my god, are we really gonna be 2 damage off? Don't tell me I'm 2 damage off, bro. don't do this to me. 2 damage off. Is it enough? Does he have enough time? I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen. There's that naturalizer we're worried about, yeah, but he's using it to kill me instead, which seems better than using it to remove. But he took a big risk because he almost died. Okay. Am I dead? The rope is frozen. I don't know what's happening. He's drawing a bunch of max. That's got to be lethal, right? 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, that's lethal for sure. Or 5, 6, 7, and 8, but still. Obviously, I take 7 on the hit here, but even if it didn't, dude, these decks are so gross. I actually don't know what turn it is. Turn 4? Right? I think it was turn 4. We had 8 mana, but that's because they played the biology projects times 2. I think it was turn 4, and I had a 9/13 Wind Fury, right? And the opponent just killed me. Like, which is more evil? I really can't be mad. You know what I mean? Like, I had a 9/13 Wind Fury on turn 3 or something. Like, you know, we're both doing degenerate things, just in different directions, right? This is degenerately aggressive. Theirs is degenerately combo-y. That deck would even beat a control deck, though. That deck beats pretty much anything that doesn't kill them fast enough. Anything that doesn't beat them fast enough. Magnetic misplay? You think so? Maybe, but it would be helpful if you actually said what it was instead of just whining about it. Say, hey, Regis, you could have done this thing. And we'd all be like, oh yeah, that's really smart, man. You're cool. Instead, you wrote magnetic misplay, and none of us know what the hell you mean because you didn't say it. All right, not radar detector or mech warper, so we ditch it. We need good cards. We need good cards. Skyclaw, mini mech warper's good, but no hand dump. So now we ask, how much do we tempo? Do we throw in a mech warper for free? I don't think we ever threw in a mech warper for free, but we can definitely tempo a Glowtron. Although we can just play a 6 health mech warper this turn and go really tall. I don't know Shaman's removal package, but surely at 2 mana, a 6 health Glowtron's alive, right? Surely it's alive. Surely it's alive. I trust. I trust. Play the magnetic that buffs your hand first, then attack, then play the Wind Fury magnetic. The problem was the Buffy guy was on the card that had the Wind Fury, guys. So there was not going to be any way, you know what I'm saying? The buff was on the dude. So every time I don't attack with another magnetic, whether that's the Wind Fury itself or I'm giving up, you know what I'm saying? I doubled up the 2/3 and the 1/1 by putting them on the Wind Fury guy, which is worth the same as if they were on something else and buffed the hand and hit. In fact, I think that's often less damage, right? If I'm not wrong. Does a 2/4 here live, or do we just stack up again? Do we spread these out for the Skyclaw? I think this is all right. Let's go a little wide here. Maybe this makes life harder. I'm not really sure about the Shaman removal package, so I don't know if that's true. But Skyclaw here feels really nice. Flash of Lightning again. Okay, so they're ripping through these discounts early, but now we're just going ham. So this is 6. Yeah, we can actually go full in here. Now see here, we can do this. And then I think we'll put this here. But see, last time I had, like this was on this, if I recall. So if I attack to activate it, I lose a Wind Fury round of buffs. You know what I mean? Like I just get that same damage immediately off attack by magnetizing it for, this is boring. Nobody cares. I certainly don't care. But see, that also lost an attack on the Sky Claw. So it's like the same. I mean, it's worth it because it makes the minions bigger, but it's also kind of not. See, like I need to do it in this. I'm gonna lose another damage, but it's worth it for the buff, right? Yeah, I'm gonna determine it's worth it for the buff on the Sky Claw itself. But is 2-3 even a good breakpoint for that? Not necessarily because of Lightning Storm, I fear. Maybe it's not. No, I lose 3. Oh, I'm an idiot. You guys got me talking too much, man. I played this deck with a 91% win rate as a legend. Why am I listening to you guys? You're distracting me too much. This is not right. Obviously, I lose +3 this way. It's not worth the buff for that. There's no way. Because this gets too easily cleaned up. I need to push the damage. I gotta stop paying attention to you guys. I literally had a 91% win rate with this deck. Go away. Oh, dude, are we dead again? Like, this frog deck is scary. Oh, Devolve is nasty. That's a generated Devolve, too. Does this deck normally run Devolve? Dude, this is gross. I'm dead, right? Like, am I just dead again? Am I dead again? Oh, I don't know if I'm dead or not, but I don't think I don't think any of this is fun. I want to be clear. I don't think my deck is fun. I don't think my opponent's decks are fun. I just sit and watch my opponent play things and do things. This is so boring. My deck's boring too. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not mightier than they. This deck is also stupidly boring. Just again in a different direction. The anticlimax of drawing the click clicker. My opponent played 30 cards and I just drew a 1/1 and played it. Oh god, that was hilarious. It's really fun. You know, my turn 3, what was like a 10-13 or something isn't enough, right? What is this format, you know? Like I had, you know, I did not enjoy my legend climb last month either. It's just it's one person just absolutely smacking the other person to death. You know, there's no like close games. It's either if you're playing an aggro deck like this, you just run away with the aggro win, or the opponent does something like that and wins. And there's no, it doesn't ever feel like there's any sort of, you know, choice to it. I think I gotta find a Raider Detector. This is not enough to beat Warlock, right? We can keep Galvanizer though. Yeah, pretty bad hand again. We can try to curve this out, honestly, since we don't have the Radar Detector reload here. It's still not very good against Warlock usually, but this is a good 1-2 pair, at least, if you're playing on curve. You're going for an honest curve. This is kind of one of the better options for you. Also potentially good against imps, but I guess this is dead, so cool. What is that? Soulfire? Wow, okay. Yeah, it seems worth it with the imp down. Oh my god. Yeah, of course it seems worth it. Jeez. I think we lose? I don't know. I mean, this is fine. I just doesn't feel like enough, right? Like, I think we just lose. Mech Warper here. I can't get the bubble bot down. No, I can't get the bubble bot down. It goes to 1. Why doesn't that feel good enough still, though? Like, Yeah, do I need to wait for a bigger turn? You know what I mean? Like, do I need to go harder all at once as opposed to sort of... It is a really big turn. I could even put the mini bot like on... Probably put it on the mech warper, just push that up to 6 with divine shield. Like, that's kind of likely to survive, but I'm just top decking garbage from that point. I don't know how much removal this discard deck runs, but it feels like it's not going to be enough. Yeah. Like, I like the idea of waiting in theory, right? But the problem is you don't know if it's going to connect. Like, I mean, I hit a radar detector. This might be my last hurrah, you know? I'm also not sure if you want to spread out the divine shields and get one extra or just make sure this thing's taking good trades, but this is what we've chosen. Oh yeah, that's gonna do it. I guess we just lose, man. I don't know. Just dead. Just dead. Why would you magnetize, bruh? Bruh. I explained it to you 7 times, bruh. God, I hate wild players. You guys suck. So annoying. Why are you all so annoying? Bruh. Bruh. Wild is the worst format and the worst community. Bruh. 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 Stop your ears. Blame the guy in chat, not me. Wild players are a reflection of the mode. It kind of makes sense. Like, the only reason you would ever like choose to endure this experience is if you hate yourself so much that you have to put this is the only way to achieve the required penance necessary. Like, it's your mechanism for suffering, right? It's like, oh god, I hate everything in the world. I'm gonna play wild to make myself feel something, you know. Brah. Brah. Dude, like, do I do another run? God, this was the worst $10 I've ever spent in my life. It felt miserable. This deck feels like it can't compete as well as it did on ladder for me. That might just be because the caliber of player is higher, right? Like, you know, not hitting you know, lower ranked players necessarily as much, but also just we got blown out twice. I mean, like, it wasn't even close. I want to go back to this game. A lot of you guys were talking about the I want to go back and watch this replay, actually. Let's see, which game was that? The Druid, I think. You guys were saying there was a misplay this turn, which I don't know if you're just being stupid or real. Like, here you guys were saying magnetize order was wrong. I put a mini bot on this guy to make one big guy against Druid, which I do think was kind of wrong in hindsight given the threat of naturalize, but it wasn't wrong from a damage output standpoint. So some of you were saying to play the new mini bot, this mini bot in hand, to play it first and then attack so that you would have bonus damage on the Wind Fury or something. But the problem is this guy is the big guy that has to get Wind Furied. So you like, if I put a mini bot on this, for instance, and then attack, number one, there's like a 1 in 5 chance of it even hitting the Spark bot. Number two, it's only +1. If I just put it here, it's a +4 because this is what's getting Wind Fury. And if I attack first, like I think some of you were saying, oh, attack first, then you can hit the Spark bot. But the Spark bot is worth 1 extra anyway because of the fact that it's getting an extra attack on the Wind Fury. Oh, we got packs. Yeah, man. $10 for 3 packs. What a great deal. What a bargain. I love Brawlseum, dude. I was gonna make a video on Brawlseum, but that was miserable, man. I don't even know. Like, is there a deck that's fun? Like, that Tony Druid deck looks kind of fun, but I'm sure I would play it poorly and I'm sure I would play it poorly, and also, like, is it actually fun to just like spam a million cards? I don't know, man. I hate that this doesn't show you the rewards table still after all this time. I mean, it can't be an accident after this amount of time. Regis Kilbin's really mean. I gave him some very reasonable feedback on stream, and he made fun of me for 10 minutes. I can see the Reddit post now. That's right. I made fun of you. Now get over it. I'm going to keep making fun of you because you said, brah! If you think it's a misplay, though, explain why you think that. I encourage you to always say, hey, Regis, I think you should have made more cards so that you don't lose the Dark Bargain. And I would have said, oh shit, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. You're right. They run Dark Bargain now and discard Warlock. You're right. But instead you go, why would you do that, bruh? So I'm not making fun of the content of your message. I'm making fun of the delivery being stupid. The stupid delivery. Do you understand the difference? I accept all kinds of feedback when it's delivered with a good faith delivery and with the intent to improve. But when you try to shame people instead of try to help people, you're not welcome here. Go away and go bitch on Reddit that I yelled at you because I don't care. Abusive Regis ASMR could be your new niche. Like people are getting off to my to me yelling at them on ASMR.